Hi, my name is Bata Lipska and I'm developer advocate here at Trilitech. Today, with my colleague Adebola, we're going to talk about the developer scene in Africa, specializing in blockchain technology. So yeah, let's welcome Adebola. Hi.
Hi, Beata. It's good to do this with you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you. It's the first interview with you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can give us a little bit of your background.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. For me, so my background was so in university I studied information systems because I really wanted to kind of understand how businesses and technology work together. So I took courses in business and I also took courses in technology as well. So I had a number of programming courses from C to C++, to Java, and also some HTML, CSS programming as well. So after that, after uni, I got into data analysis. So I did that for nearly 2 years. But then I decided I actually wanted to just do like pure software engineering. I worked for a couple of companies as a software engineer, basically using JavaScript, using TypeScript, using React, PHP, and also Node.js as well. So my background is mainly like a lot in JavaScript, but also in Ruby as well.
Okay, I had a Ruby episode too.
Oh, nice.
But it's separate into a new topic.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. But okay, so now you're a developer advocate. What kind of made you to follow this path?
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to get into developer advocacy. While I enjoy software engineering and coding, I really enjoy creating content for developers and making their lives easier. I know how much stress it saves me when I'm able to find a tool or an SDK or some answer on Stack Overflow or a blog written by someone else that helps me solve a problem very quickly. So because of its deep appreciation for that, and also my love for talking to developers, for talking to engineers, for engaging people, meeting new people, I felt like developer advocacy was the best fit for me. And then when the opportunity came here at Trilitech, I also enjoy working on the blockchain as well. And I thought that, yeah, this is the perfect fit for me, right? Developer advocacy, and I can also do that on the blockchain or for Web3. So it was a perfect fit for me.
Brilliant. So yeah, speaking about the blockchain, so what's about this technology that kind of lured you into that scene?
Yeah, I think in 2020, when NFTs first became a big thing, because I was also very interested in art as well. I would go to art exhibitions. I started to go to digital art exhibitions as well. And that was the first time I got introduced to NFTs. And because I was already an engineer, I also wanted to understand what the technology behind that was. And in fact, I put out an article about minting an NFT on the blockchain. And from there, I was just able to understand the power of the blockchain, right? And the things that we can achieve with it. And how we can decentralize certain things. For example, like vehicle tracking or vehicle registration and land registration and things like that. And I thought that like this is an amazing technology and like more and more people should get into this. So I started to learn about it more, even though I was still doing some Web2 work. But I was very curious. I was very passionate about the blockchain, particularly crypto. Also because the crypto scene in Nigeria is huge. I think we're like maybe number 3, number 4 in the world in terms of cryptocurrency trading.
Oh, wow.
I know, yeah, like we're top 10, top 15 or something like that. And so that also got me even more curious about the blockchain and about cryptocurrencies as well.
Okay, so let's talk about some numbers. Yeah, you already mentioned Nigeria. Yeah. How it's actually the whole continent. What sort of adoption? What is the interest about? And let's say overall vibe around Web3.
Yeah, I think Web3 adoption is growing all the time. In Africa, we're not the biggest in the world. I think there's India, there's the UK. I think it's only about 3% of developers in Africa who are contributing to the blockchain, right? So there's a lot of opportunities for that number to grow even higher. But right now, we're seeing some adoption. We see most people using cryptocurrency, a lot of people using cryptocurrency as a store of value to prevent themselves against inflation. But I think that there's a lot of opportunities for us to grow the developer scene for the blockchain or for Web3 in Africa.
Okay. Yeah, so speaking about the scene itself and let's say, what are the most popular blockchains in Africa?
I would say Ethereum, definitely. Ethereum is huge, simply because of the documentation and also the support as well. It's a massive community. I would say Silo is also big as well because it's mobile first. And because, a lot of people in Africa are just starting to get into technology. So I think it's very easy to adopt Silo as a blockchain. Then there's also Polygon and Solana because of the amount of marketing that they've done on the continent. And then we also have the Binance chain as well because they've also done a lot of work in terms of marketing and sales in Africa too. So I think those are some of the biggest chains on the continent right now.
Okay, so what kind of features for specific blockchains attract people in Africa?
Yeah, I think I don't think it's about the features really. I think it's more about what you're exposed to, right? So if you meet one of your friends who has built on Ethereum, for example, or when you first start researching Web3, you find articles about Ethereum, you're more likely to build on Ethereum, right? Or to build on something like Polygon or Solana because you've done some research or you have some friends or you've gone to a conference or an event and someone is talking to you about the Solana chain or the Polygon chain or the Ethereum chain. So I think essentially it's a community thing. The more people that you find within a community that you can relate to, that you can associate with, the more likely you are to use a technology, particularly in Web3.
Okay. So it feels like there is like a big trust building up around
definitely.
crypto, Web3, and the technologies themselves.
Yeah.
All right, that's great to hear. And let's go to kind of adoption and more technical side of things. And do you feel like the startups will just pop everywhere in Africa, or it's just like very early stage? How do you see that?
Yeah, I think it's still very early stage. We've seen, I think, between 2020 and 2021, there was over like 1,000% increase in the amount of capital being deployed by VC into companies building in Web3. And that kind of slowed down in like 2022, 2023. But I think it's still very early days, but we're still seeing quite a lot of investments, quite a lot of capital going into companies who are building on Web3, right, on the continent. But I think for Africa, I think the most important thing is finding use cases for the blockchain, right? And seeing how we can use the blockchain or how we can use Web3 to solve some of the biggest problems on the continent, like cross-border payments, right? That's a massive thing, right? And I think that Web3 and the blockchain can solve that, right? That's a massive opportunity for us to solve. There's also DeFi, so anything around DeFi on the continent is a great space to be in, and I think that Web3 and the blockchain would really contribute to that.